Today we're diving into one of the most advanced LSAT strategies, thinking like the test makers. This approach can transform how you handle tough questions, anticipate traps, and choose the right answer even when it feels wrong. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to use this mindset to break into the 170s and approach the LSAT with confidence. First, for those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Have you ever been in the situation where you chose an answer, felt good about it, then seen the right answer and thought to yourself, that is awful. How could that possibly be right? But the thing is, the LSAT doesn't reward perfection. It rewards answers that fit the argument better than the alternatives. The key to getting a top score is learning to spot these bad but correct answers, and today, I'll show you how to do just that. The first step is to understand what the LSAT is testing in order to understand the test maker's perspective. It's not just about logic, it's also about how you think under pressure. The test makers craft questions deliberately to exploit natural human tendencies like overthinking or sticking too rigidly to quote-unquote rules. So you want to ask yourself, why would the test maker phrase it this way? What are they trying to test? You cannot take a mechanical approach here by blindly copying someone else's techniques step by step, rigidly like a formula. You've got to see the questions from the test maker's perspective in order to anticipate traps and focus on what actually matters. Step 2 here is to recognize stretch answers. This is especially the case for harder LSAT questions. These are answers that don't feel perfectly supported, but are correct because every other choice is worse. Here's how you recognize stretch answers. They might fill a logical gap, even if they don't state it explicitly, or they might feel slightly awkward or incomplete, but still align with the test maker's intention. You want to think of these as the least bad choice, and your goal is to weigh each answer against the argument and ask yourself, does this make the most sense given the context? Now, to succeed here, you need two modes of thinking. You've got to apply strict logic for easier and medium level questions where the answer is straightforward and stretching is not necessary. But then you also have to be able to get flexible on the harder questions. When all the answers feel wrong, you've got to shift gears. The right answer might only make sense after you reconsider the ones you eliminated. And the difference between 160s and 170s is knowing when to switch from a strict approach to a flexible approach. Let me give you an example of how this works. Imagine an argument claims a new program improves students' test scores. The evidence is schools using the program reported higher scores than schools that didn't. And the conclusion is that the program caused the improvement. A hard question might ask for a necessary assumption. The correct answer would be something like, there are no significant differences between schools using the program and those that didn't. This is right because it addresses the assumption that no other factors, like funding or teacher quality, contributed to the higher scores. This would be a classic example of a stretch answer because it doesn't feel perfect, yet it still works because it aligns with the argument's logic better than the alternatives. Now, pre-phrasing or prediction is a great tool, but the trap is using it too narrowly. If you are too limited in your scope and your approach, you might dismiss a right answer just because it doesn't match your presupposed expectation. So instead, to maintain a flexible approach, focus on spotting the gap in the argument. Ask yourself, what is missing between the premise and the conclusion, and what assumption is required in order for the argument to work? This keeps you open to unexpected answers while staying focused on the core logic. Now remember that every question that you get wrong or have difficulty with is an opportunity to learn something new. So don't rely on explanations as a crutch. Instead, ask yourself, why did I eliminate the right answer? What trap did I fall into, and how can I avoid this mistake in the future? At LSAT Unplugged, we have a framework for this called the Socratic Review Method. It's a cornerstone of my courses and my one-on-one LSAT coaching programs. We walk you through this process with a templated approach you can apply to every single question giving you trouble, and we help you extract the key insights from your review to adjust your approach moving forward. If you'd like my help on your journey to scoring a 170 plus using the Socratic Review Method, you can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. And the reason we focus so much on review, the reason I talk about it so much, is that reviewing your mistakes is where the real progress happens. The more deliberate you are, the faster you'll see results. Now, thinking like the test makers, applying this kind of approach isn't just a strategy. It can actually become your LSAT superpower because it builds your confidence, it sharpens your thinking, and it helps you approach the LSAT with a level of calm and control that most students never achieve. And that's how you stop feeling stuck and you start breaking into the 170s. So next steps for you are to practice applying that test maker's mindset to these questions, apply these strategies to the biggest areas giving you trouble. And if you'd like my help mastering the test maker's game, you feel free to reach out. You can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.